Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're going to be attempting a mission, and we're going to be attempting that mission with traditional sort of spacecraft, things that you'd see going up into space now or in the past. So this is what we're going to be actually working with. We're going to be working with a standard sort of NASA shuttle. We've got ourselves the large fuel tank on the back, the two side rockets, and it's a multiple stage rocket design. So we're going to be expecting to use that to complete the mission. Now the mission itself is quite simple. We're going to be attempting to deliver a rover to the moon. Now thinking about this is not the shuttle for that particular mission. That's why in the cargo module we've actually got a shuttle and the rover craft locked inside, as well as a control module, so we can actually relay the information back to our control center down here on the ground. So once we're in orbit of the planet, we open the hatch and we deliver the rover to the planet. This little shuttle itself is not capable of landing on the moon, and it only has enough fuel and the fuel to weight ratio to actually make it back to this planet safely and land on one of the local air bases that we'll do at the end. So first off, let's begin the procedure and take this ship into the sky. So I'm just going to position the camera in a nice little place for us. We're going to access 9. Now another cool thing about this is the ship is going to be running in survival mode. I'm going to be running creative so I can get some different camera shots and stuff. And we're actually going to begin takeoff. So we've got all thrusters ready, everything's fueled, and there we go. We're going to hit the key and we're going to actually begin to take off. So as we're going out of shot, we'll switch back to our camera and hit an F6, so you can see we're actually raising up into the ground. We've only got the basic extra boosters firing and the fuel tank. We're not accessing any of the power in the shuttle at the moment, because if we do that we won't have enough fuel for the actual return trip, and that's something really important. Now another interesting fact about why the ship actually breaks apart, there's two reasons for this, because obviously you're discarding the empty fuel cells, and the second part is so this can be recovered and used again. Now, when I've been looking at some of the documentation behind this, I don't believe too many of these sort of fuel pods have been reserved or used more than 3 to 4 times after. Most of them are dismantled, fully inspected, and then assembled again with complete parts, and these pods are designed to land in the sea and float. But if they hit the ground, you can imagine there'd be significantly more damage. They pop a parachute, of course, so as we're coming up to this atmosphere, we've got more sort of fuel draining out them little nacelles on both sides of the ship. You can see we've got still a full maximum speed of 104 meters a second. Now, since this doesn't work just like a planet, we don't have to have an exit angle. We're not going to burn up. There's not too many problems in that, so we've just got to concentrate on delivering this spacecraft safely. Okay, it looks like we're reaching the edge of the atmosphere, and this is where we're going to want to drop them cells. So to drop these cells, what we're going to do is just make sure the ship is tilted at the correct angle, and we're going to release the cells now. So cells are releasing, falling away. I need to activate the second rocket booster and continue on my way. Okay, so we've got the second cells of the rocket. You can see we've got some damage with inside. I think the lock has just failed, but that's not really a problem at all. We can always reseal that up as we get a little bit higher into the atmosphere itself. Okay, so we're just exiting the atmosphere. We can see the stars. Very nice, very beautiful. We're going to begin tilting and moving towards the moon. That is over on that horizon over there. So we're just going to bring the ship around very slowly. Be very gentle, because we have got loose components in the cargo bay at the back. We'll inspect that in a minute once we get a stable sort of orbit around the planet. Bring that down a little bit more of a tilt now. We'll bring it a little bit faster. So what we're going to do now is use a bit of combinedness of just a little bit of a booster of our thrust at the back, and we're going to use the gravitational pull to pull us around the planet towards the moon itself. So there we go. So this angle should be correct. The gravity should pull us down, as well as us thrusting towards the moon itself, and we'll cut our boosters momentarily and we'll check the damage in the back. So we finally just left the gravity of the Earth, so I've cut the engine cells, and you can see we've got our 2 fuel tanks at the back. I did a quick survival check. We're about half fuel on both of the tanks, so that should be enough to get us back into the atmosphere and back if we preserve the fuel. And when we actually reach the planet, we're going to need to be very careful on how we slow down and make sure it's a very fast stop so we don't burn excess hydrogen. But everything seems to be going well. Now, you're probably asking about what happened in the back of the cargo module. We'll just try to peek through the window and I'll show you. Well, what actually happened is we had a disconnect with the system in the back, so the module actually lifted up into the air and hit the ceiling. There was not super amount of damage, so I just quickly reconnected it and got back on with the mission straight away. But everything is going pretty well. We've got not too much output. Solar cells are not used at the moment. Hydrogen tank 66%, so we're doing pretty well. We've not got too much further to go, and we'll cut our engines and then we'll dispatch our little craft inside. So we've got a lot closer now, and any moment we're probably going to enter into the moon's gravitational field. So I'm going to actually cut the engines, make sure my inertia dampener's on, and I think this is the area we're going to work from. We're going to drop the actual drone ship from here, so we're slowing down the speed, 38 meters a second, almost at a stop. So once we're at a stop, we can actually open the hangar bays, and we'll get into a nice angle so we can actually see a lot of the things in the light. And we'll begin the process shortly. 0 meters a second. We'll open up the rear doors. So 6, 7, 8, and then finally 9 should open up the bays. So you can see the bays are starting to open up. Once that is successfully open, we'll have both solar panel created by these bays as well as a beautiful access to our drone. So now we've got the very difficult process of actually unloading the shuttle. I've disconnected some of the connectors, and the way that I think we're going to do this is we're going to rotate this ship out to the side and then slit it through the little gap we've got here. Just remember that antenna is in the way, so we're going to have to be very careful here. And it looks like everything's going well. We'll add a little bit of pressure, just navigate it out. I really should have made that area a lot bigger. I think that'll be something for the next mission. Try to make the cargo module a little bit bigger. Just navigate that around. Okay, a bit more thrust to the side, navigate through. Why did I have to put that antenna there? I'm really regretting that now. Okay, tap it down a little bit to the side, and there we go. It looks like we might have another issue. It looks like we didn't actually have it stuck. Oh, bollocks! That's not good. Okay, that was a little bit too much movement. Have we preserved everything? Have we lost anything? Let's do a quick damage assessment of that. That's not good at all. To be honest though, it looks like the rover is still in pretty good condition, so we might be able to complete the mission. We've got a big dent here. That antenna really got in the way, and now we've got a big problem on our hands. We've got some oxygen tanks left, but we've lost a whole side of our solar array, and if this was a real mission, this ship won't be coming back because it would just burn up because it didn't have the right sort of solar protection. Let's hop back in, and we should be able to get this ship out now. Let's just check, make sure our antenna's still on, so we should be able to access it. So remote control, access our small ship, access our remote control block, remote control. Okay, and now it's as simple as just bringing it up and out of the ship. Oh, why did they have to damage that? The mission was going so smooth as well. So we're almost at the touchdown stage now. Whoa. Gentle, Aaron. We don't want another ram. Very sensitive little controls here. So we've just touched down, and we're going to begin the process of just cutting our engines, I think. So thrusters off. Okay, just let the rover sit. Merge block is what we need to find now. So we'll hop into here, find our merge block, and we'll disconnect both ends. So toggle blocks off. Okay, rover. All the rover needs to do now is drop out the front. Let's have a quick look. We're going to have to reconnect to the rover, I think, as well. Small ship, remote control. Control. Okay, we've got wheel control. Okay, but we've not got actually any movement here. I think we're going to have to adjust a few more things. Right, I'm not going to lie to you. We had a little bit of a problem with the rover getting stuck within the actual carcass since it was damaged with our little collision up the top. So what I actually did is just cut away through blocks. In true reality, we would have failed the mission, but I wanted to get this rover down to actually control it and move it around the planet. So let's actually get full control of it. So to me, this seems like we have got a mission success. Now, we ran into quite a few problems on the way. The most important one was pretty much user error. If that user error wouldn't have happened, we would have our little rover here arrived quite safely, and our pod over there wouldn't have had too much damage. The idea with this little rover, though, is not to recover it. We're just going to keep it up on the planet, and we're going to use it to explore the vastness of this crater to find a nice little landing site, perhaps for the next mission. We have got a final stage to do, though. We've got to try and return our spacecraft, but I think we'll save that for